We used to play the song and she would take one part and I would take the other, and we would see who could do and we're going to take the beginning of this, who could say it the quickest, So it's kind of like a family joke. But everyone, welcome back to One Life Radio. I want to let you know that you can go to our website, oneliferadio.com, to download and listen to our podcast and subscribe to our newsletter, or go to iHeartMedia.com to listen live, or download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to us from anywhere in the world. A big shout out to our sponsors, great companies like Sun Warrior. You can get it at Vitamin Shop or put it in your smoothie at Smoothie King. Sun Warrior is a premium all-natural raw superfood company dedicated to providing the best vegan, plant-based protein powders and supplements, and they've got some new ones out that are just amazing. If you're a vegan out there listening and you want a great omega-3, even if you're not a vegan, I ordered 2 of each of these products, actually. I'm excited about them. This new vegan omega-3 that's grown from the algae in these private, clean ponds, so you don't have to worry about mercury contamination and all these other things that all the other omega-3 oil, omega, 3, 6, and 9, typically is the blend that they put together, but it's all plant-based, so it's sustainable, and it's free of industrial contaminants. And Sun Warrior's algae are not harvested from the oceans, and it just goes on and on and on. Without the algae is harvested, or is it? How do you pronounce it? Algae, don't you? Algae, not algae. I'm saying it wrong. But yeah. Anyway, so check it out at sunwarrior.com. And, of course, great companies like Squatty Potty and Crazy Water, the H-Hemp Company. I love my CBD oil. Check them out at hemp.com. Paleo Magazine, the Wellbeing Journal, and the International Society of Sports Nutrition. All right, Autumn, I love having you in studio. That's why I'm so happy today.
Yay.
Truly, because we have so much fun conversation, and I think we're going to go out to lunch afterwards, too. But we'll continue our talk about what we're talking about with you today. If you've never heard Autumn before, you're going to love her. She's a self-taught vegan cook, a mom of 2, a researcher of all natural remedies, an animal lover, and she teaches free meditation and yoga classes in Fort Worth. She has written a children's book, and she is the inventor of Ether Elixir. You can find her at probioticsyall.com. Today we're talking about urban farming. Okay, so what does that mean? What is urban farming?
Yeah, what's neat is it really segues nicely from everything we were talking about with PETA. It's essentially a way to sort of self-sustain, and it's animal friendly for the most part. I mean, if you do it correctly, and it's it's good for the environment, and quite honestly, it's inexpensive for the individual.
Okay, so what do you grow?
What do you farm? Yeah.
So the farming aspect, urban farming kind of encompasses not just the plants, but also the animals and just sort of a way of life. So what I try to do is really try to create like a zero waste system with the way that I live. So I was talking about how this weekend, a couple weeks ago, I got some ducks. But what I wanted the ducks for, aside from
how many do you beat me in the animals? How many animals?
Oh yeah,
do you have?
I beat you in the. I mean, just chickens alone, I've got almost 25.
Okay,
so,
not counting the chickens.
Not counting the chickens. 4 cats, 4 dogs, 2 parrots right now.
Now you got the ducks.
2 pigs.
Oh my goodness!
All right, that's 12.
Bunnies.
Okay.
How many
Green
bunnies?
Acres is
finches.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I picture Snow White.
most of the animals are rescue situations, but then we've learned a way for them all, to sort of pull their weight, and not in a disrespectful way, but so that we're all kind of functioning, as a cog in the wheel. And so the ducks, for instance, obviously, I take my kids to the feed store to get, just essential things for our household. They see baby ducks, and I'm like, we could get some ducks, but let's think about what these ducks can do for us. And it's done nicely because we allow them to live as animals are allowed to live.
What can a duck do for you?
Well,
what can a duck do for you?
One thing they can do is they create, they'll create eggs for me to feed to my other animals.
Oh, I never thought about that. Okay.
So, I mean, humans can eat duck eggs as well, but also, I'll feed eggs to my dogs and to my pigs and to the chickens to give them different beneficial nutrients.
And so do you have to have I plead, I have ignorance about this subject. I really don't know a lot. So you have to have you have to have a boy duck and a girl duck, right?
No, to lay an egg, a girl.
Oh, it's all the female ducks. Yeah. What am I saying?
There may be some.
But don't they have to have some action or something?
They're independent.
They're going to lay an egg to fertilize it. Yes, but I don't want to. I don't necessarily want to breed ducks. I just want
just the eggs.
My real purpose behind the ducks is for fertilizer. So I recently moved or took down my kids' playhouse, and so So ducks like a really wet kind of swampy, pond-like area.
Yeah.
So the ducks are inhabiting a space in my yard that's very sunny. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grow hops on my land, and I'm going to
like for beer.
Let's brew some beer.
Are you going to brew beer?
I'm going to brew some beer.
How did I know that? I'm moving.
I can't wait.
And I'm gonna sell the hops as well, to local beer makers. So
nice.
What's great is they're a really hardy crop, and then at the same time, the ducks, they're fun, and at the same time, while you're, I have a little pool for them, like it's actually a rather big pool, a galvanized aluminum pool, and so they poop in the water. I can put a hose spigot on the end of their pool. I can water the hops with the duck poop water. I can also put goldfish in this pond, so the goldfish are, they're creating poop. It's creating this whole natural fertilizer system, and then in feeding the ducks and in watering the ducks, their water and their mess isn't going to waste. It instead is feeding these other crops. So that's essentially the basis of urban farming. What you're doing is one thing is affecting another thing in a positive way, so that, everything you're doing has a purpose to it.
I want to come see it.
I want some ducks.
Yeah, they stink, but
what happens when they get big? They fly away? How do you keep them there?
No, most animals, quite honestly, they'll stay where the
stay
food
home.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as long as we're treating them nicely, which we probably treat them too nicely, we put up their coop this
weekend. They might start getting lazy, entitled ducks. You don't want a bunch of entitled ducks.
That's what I always say about my hens. I'm always like, you guys are a bunch of freeloaders. But, they're really not. They do. I've got my backyard's filled with pecan trees. And so the chickens, they free range in the backyard and they poop all over the place, which makes my pecan trees produce more pecans. My pecans feed my parrots.
So how do you keep the poop out of the house? Because, I'm such a clean nut.
Oh, there's poop in the house for sure.
There's poop in the house for sure. So
we have boots. We all have, like a pair of rubber boots
that we
wear
the door.
That we wear outside, and we have a literal mud room, and the boots stay in the mud room, and that sort of thing.
Right.
But also like
kids.
I've got kids, and they'll be like in the living room in their boots and be like, "What?"
Yeah.
It's all, hey, remember when you walked through all that poop?
What kind of floors do you have?
I have 100-year-old hardwoods that are harboring lots of poop from hundreds of years.
Well, I bet all that bacteria is good for you, though. And who would know better than you, Miss Ether Elixir?
We're building our microbiomes.
So it sounds like a lot of work. How much time does it take?
That's the thing, is it really doesn't take much time at all. So once you get a system in place, it's pretty foolproof. So what I do when I'm chopping vegetables is I have different buckets. This bucket's for the pig's food. This bucket, if I make a smoothie for a kid, I put the smoothie in the smoothie bucket, and that goes in the slop for the pigs. There's no leftovers. I'm not dumping things down the drain. So it's not really taking any excess time. And then, the gardening and stuff like that, it does take time, but it's pleasurable time. It's time out in nature and doing something. And quite honestly, I prefer, if you're eating tons of fresh produce, it's less time to go out into your own garden and cut your produce and bring it in for a salad than it is to make multiple trips to the grocery store to get fresh produce.
Wow.
So, we made a kale salad. We'll make microgreens and that sort of thing. And it's like, I just have to walk a few steps to go and get that stuff. And, it's a hobby in addition to being a functional part of our lives.
Wow. I'm coming out with the recording devices when you're pregnant. We're going to come out there and help you with the farm when you deliver the baby. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. Thank you so much, Autumn. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I really enjoyed today's show. And you know what? You only get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. So choose to get out there and make the most of it.